The next stop, I saw a swimming pool get up and I ran over to grab his chair, but I accidentally jabbed my hair into his eyes and broke his feet. And then, as I was apologising, the bus came to a big stop which caused me to drop my fish and fall on top of a purple lady who was carrying a car on her lap. Believe me, my school was red that day.
Okay, who else would like to share their story? Yes, okay, Gigi.
Okay, my most embarrassing moment happened when I got on a bus to go to museum. The bus was very gorgeous, so I stood up and held into a hospital. At the next stop, I saw a stadium get off and I ran over to grab his bag, but I accidentally dropped my hips into his head and broke his knees. And then as I was apologizing, the bus came to an old stop which caused me to drop my Gigi and fall on top of a silly lady who was carrying a teacher on her lap. Believe me, my cupboard was red that day.
Okay, very good. Anyone else?
I don't think I would even better read mine.
Who wants to read their silly story?
Okay, the most embarrassing moment happened when I got on a bus to go to house. The bus was wet, very wet, so I stood up and held on to a missus. At the next stop I saw a shop get up and I ran over to grab his person, but I accidentally jabbed my arm into his leg and broke his spine. And then, as I was apologising, the bus came to a big stop which caused me to drop my fish and fall on top of a purple lady who was carrying a bike on her lap. Believe me, the 9 was the red that day.
The 9?
Yeah, the 9 was red that day.
Yeah. What do you notice from here? When you actually read it out, or when you ask the children to read it out, there will probably some giggles around the classroom. So it makes them listen to their friend's story because they want to know what interesting story does my friend have. And at the same time, they also learn, you can also teach them about all these parts of speech, right? An adjective, noun, whether they use correctly or not, you can see whether they understood. And at the same time, you can also explain to them some words here. For example, I accidentally jabbed my part of the body, right? So some of you were saying hips into his whatever. So you can tell the children what is jab. Jab have to be something sharp, isn't it? So it can be fingers or toe or or elbow. Maybe can you use elbow? Yes.
No,
so
jab.
yes. So these are the things that the children can learn from you. And at the same time, believe me, my school was red that day. What do you think is the most obvious answer for that last one? Face. That's right.
Face red.
So this will be some expressions that they will learn through this activity. And you can also use it for your creative writing, for example, right? When they are, doing this. Okay, something fun for them. The younger ones, like prep or pre-prep, you can ask them to fill in some way that you go to instead of place, noun, adjective, someone you know, and then you can make a simple story and then leave blank, and then they can fill it in later on. Alright? This activity, do you think you can use it in Mandarin or Thai class? Yes? In grammar class? Yes, of course. And? Yes? Reading class? How about reading class? Yeah. You can take the reading book and again
Take words out.
out.
Yeah.
Any question? last one is about confirmation. This is the last of the 7 C's. No, I started off with cordiality and communication. I said that it has to be ongoing throughout the lesson. Okay. Make the children feel safe in learning. You don't want them to have unnecessary stress and anxiety. So how can we do that? We avoid social comparisons in the classroom. You don't say words like, you know, why can't you do better than so and so? You don't use this kind of words in the classroom. Yeah, it will have detrimental effect on them. Okay, and measuring success in terms of self-improvement rather than triumphs over others. I told you earlier about keeping individual record of their grades. So you show them this is how you have been faring in your this subject. You have been progressing well, and you show it to them so they see that okay, I'm doing better and better. It gives them the motivation to learn more. Okay, if you find that there is a regression, you can also point it out to them quickly by looking at the individual grading and tell them that, what can we do about this? Ask for their opinions. Okay. So when we measure their success in terms of self-improvement, it will act as a confirmation to them that their own progress is more important and more valued than their ability to outdo others. You don't want to have a society where people are just, being competitive and not thinking about others. We want to train the children in a more positive way, right? So we try to make them see that their improvement, self-improvement is very important. They have to keep progressing. Okay, ultimately, if they can do better than others, then it's a bonus for them. Okay, so this is the model that I talked about. The first time when I showed you, I have the 7 C's on one side, on the left column, and then what it translates into. And this is the right-hand side of it. Okay, remember that in the classroom, this black box is actually the classroom. Teachers should always maintain a positive atmosphere where the children will feel encouraged, accepted, and not afraid to try, not afraid to make mistakes. You also must communicate faith in their ability, especially for those children who are always low self-confidence. Okay? You must even do it in a more forceful way. That, no, I know you can do it. I know it because I have seen your progress before. Now that it's coming down low, it must be because you are not putting in effort. Words like that will make them feel, yeah, I have to wake up and do something. Okay, so it makes them put in more effort. And don't forget to praise them. Yes, talking about this, there's one more thing that I forgot to mention to you earlier. Sometimes, do you notice children writing notes to you? Like, they give you notes like, I like you as a teacher, yeah? You get this kind of notes. You know what it indicates? That is their language of love. Their love language, I mean. So, if you find that these children are giving you such notes, do reciprocate.
If we had an option, that's how all of us would be teaching.
Yes.
But we haven't been given an option because we've been given the textbooks to work through. So I agree with everything that you've said, but I'm just not quite sure in reality how
you can follow.
You've told us now this is how it should be done, but then on the other hand we've been told, well, actually no, you can't do it that way. We want you to finish the textbook. And I know if we get creative, we can use the textbook and draw from it. Like take for the reading, take out a section out of the textbook, put it like we did with the slip activity.
Right.
But in 45 minutes, finishing a textbook activity without having to send heaps of homework home, I'm not quite sure how I'm getting conflicting or clashing of heads here, because it's just.
That's why if you have been paying attention earlier, I told you that some of the things that you can do is actually to pull out from the textbook that you have right now.
Yeah, that's what I was
So,
saying.
for example, the questions here come from the textbook, from maybe 2 pages or 1 page. And instead of having the children go straight into their book, which is very boring if they do it day by day, one day you can use this method. Another day, go straight into the textbook. Another day, something else. So in 5 days week, there is a varying method of doing the same thing using different styles.
Yeah, I understand that, and I'm sure most teachers were introducing your lesson differently. But to finish something in a textbook, you're never going to be able to do. If you're going to do a proper introduction, it needs to be about 5 to 10 minutes. Do a really good introduction.
Yes.
You're not going to have finished time to finish the activity and then do a conclusion to your lesson without just saying, okay, that's the end of it, click the books and go.
Oh no, don't get mistaken. I'm not saying that the one, say for example, learning about homophones, okay, has to be completed in 1 day. Maybe your grammar is over 2 days. So you can split it. Today you introduce something and start with something.
In some subjects it can be done.
Yes, some subjects you can do it in 1 day, in 1 lesson and in 1 sitting. Some others you may do it over 2 days or even 3 days. Like for example, reading activity. If you're taking some paragraphs out from the textbook, that's the textbook that you're using, right? You may not do it in 1 day. You may not finish it 1 day, but you can start with 1 day with something, and then following day continue on.
But like the textbooks don't often cover everything. My class now, they would never have done poetry if we hadn't deviated off the textbook. So if you want us to finish the textbook, and I know now you've said, okay, you've got freedom to.
But do you remember, Daniel, in our last meeting when we had a talk about this, I did mention that if there's anything that you find useful, please suggest to us and we will try to modify it.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's all right. Well, that's fine as long as you're willing to do that, because it's pointless me going and doing
talked about it
extra.
before about this. Any other question? Ultimately, all the things that you are using doesn't go to waste, okay? Because if, for example, there are, which is rare, 4 pages of work on just one topic in your textbook, for example, the 2 pages, if they can cover with understanding, it's better than for them to finish the 4 pages without understanding. So what I have brought in this short workshop today is the point that how do you engage them to feel interested, motivated to learn your subject. So I was giving you ideas because children have different learning styles, and you need to address each of these styles so that none of them is left out. Some may be more visual, some may be more auditory. How can you mix them all up to make your lessons interesting? So today, maybe it's more for the visual learners. Tomorrow, you do something more for the auditory. And next day, maybe something that is you don't need to move around. Or some days, you can put the 2 or 3 together in one lesson. Any other question? I think this is a good time to ask because everyone is here. So if they have similar question but just afraid to ask, then they can hear at least the answers. Of course, whatever that you see here is not the only way. Okay, we all are teachers, and we know that learning doesn't stop when we graduate right? It's continuing. The so-called lifelong learning is very real. We learn until the day that we die. So whatever that you have and you can share with us, by all means, you can just come to us and we can talk about it at meetings or conduct a kind of a short seminar or workshop where you can present also your ideas.
Yes. Just now you said about the competitive game. Actually, I found the children like competition.
Yes.
Because I know it's good to compare with yourself, but I think human nature, they like to compare with each other. If you just like them, ask them to compare with himself, I mean, the competition with others provides them a goal to learn.
Yes.
But if the two children compete to be able to, read the sentence,
Yes.
they find a goal. They want all of them want to be good, want to be better than the others, so they try to learn, they try to remember.
Yes.
So and they are motivated when I use competitive game.
Sure.
I know the weak one may be left out, so sometimes try to avoid or
Yeah.
The children know where they sit in a classroom anyway. No matter how old they are, they know, they can tell you where they sit in the class. So-and-so's the smartest, so-and-so may not know their work. I sit here in between these two people, and
Yes.
that's not telling them
Yes.
what marks they get or anything
Sure.
like that. They know.
Yes. In fact, Linja, you brought up a very good point, and the answer that I was going to give was what Gary has just mentioned. Even without you telling them that, why can't you do as good as whoever, as a teacher, we say this kind of words. Even without us saying it, they already knew, oh, maybe I can't do as good as Lana or Gan, for example, in maths.
But when they are bring front, they all want to show they are good in front of others.
Yes.
So like they are having a race 100 meters. All
Yes.
of them want to be the
Be
winner.
the winner, that's right.
They are
Yes.
motivated.
Yes, but the point here is the one that I was telling you about was make them compete against their own. That means they put in the effort to do their best. Not because they want to try to outdo somebody else, but because they want to perform their best. Okay, because everybody has got different talents and abilities. But we want them to do that, to put in their best effort. And I did not say that there is no competition in class. When I told you about these things, for example, making flip charts, you are making a quiz, for example, and they can write down the answers and later on pass it around, exchange for marking. That is also a kind of competition in a way. But we do not judge them, like, oh, this child is better than that one, or you will never do as good as this. We don't want to say this kind of thing. And the reason why we do not want to also put up or announce oh, who gets the lowest in class for tests, that is going to be very embarrassing for the child. Especially if he or she already feels that I can never reach the summit, the top. Then they will feel, okay, since I'm a gone case, I may as well not put in any effort. And we do not want this kind of children, because all hope is not lost yet. They are still work in progress, remember that. Work in progress. ยังไม่สำเร็จ ยังทำงาน Yes.
Just okay, how are you gonna handle those students who's overconfident?
Overconfident.
No, really, because I know sometimes for me it makes it I don't know if I don't want to be, well, I'm trying not me, but let's just listen. Yes, I know you know the answer, you understood, but some of the other who doesn't understand, they need to listen to me and so they will understand it basically. I'm just really, I don't know if I'm doing it right or wrong, that trying to shut them down. Or I mean, you know.
Well, what you do is you put tape over their mouths and then tie them up and put them in the corner, Karen.
No,
So
because
you are doing it right
know.
now. You don't.
No, I'm just trying because I know they knew and they when I'm teaching and they just like calling out the answer, and you know I know some of them like they don't get really what's going on, or they haven't get the basic or the concept of the lesson yet. But I know.
You'd say these people are going to be the ones that answer this question for me.
Yeah,
Before
I
you
do.
say that,
Before you
ask the question.
I do that. I said, I want to ask. I'm asking this person, or I want this one to answer my question.
But
But
everyone's class.
and then if they continue to call out, then you warn them, and then if they continue, you pink slip them
Karen, you may want to try this.
or throw them in the
If
pool.
you are teaching multiplication, okay, and the overconfident children are, oh, I know the answer, I know the answer. You tell them, all right, if and then they are not listening to you, for example. You tell them, if you compete with me, okay, with you. Tell them that they are competing with you. If they can answer faster than you, then they can be out of the class. They can go and play. Like you give them you know, like how many digits times. Can you do this? Let's try and see who wins. And when they see that, okay, whatever I know now is not the best yet. I still have to have many goals to reach, for example. Then they will start to see, okay, I you know, that means my learning doesn't stop right now.
Could be viewed in the opposite, where they might think, oh well, no, I'm not getting
Oh, no.
And they could be-
Because
they could be right.
somebody who is already very good in the subject and they often got the high marks for the test.
like I used to like, okay, since you want that, okay, I'll give you the chance to be the teacher. You'll be the one to explain, but I want to make sure that everyone understood the lesson because you're the teacher. But she or he doesn't want to stand up and do the teaching, you know. But it's just like I know she's good, but it's just like when it's too overconfident that the class is like, you know, just shouting the answer but doesn't know how did she get the answer yet.
Probably when you actually tell, okay, then you come out and do the teaching, that did it sound threatening to them? Because if it sounds threatening, then they probably will just sit still because they know that I'm being, you know.
Well, I do it in like we're just playing. Okay, let's call Miss like this.
Yes.
She will be our teacher, and she will be the one to teach. But you know, they might be threatening.
It should work. If let's say you say, after I finish explaining this, I'm going to call out some of you to teach the class. This is what we call peer modeling, okay? Peer. So it's very good also, peer modeling. Because those children who see, oh, child A, my friend A knows how to do this. If she knows how to do it, I should be able to know how to do it too. So peer modeling actually helps some of the kids because they see it's not the teacher only who knows how to do it. My friend can do it too. And therefore, you as a teacher can later on tell them, your friends can do it. I know that you can do it too. It makes it more, what's the word? Assuring for them that, yeah, it's true. People of my age can also achieve it. That means I can also achieve it. Okay? So the asking them to come out and teach the class, that is actually very good because you can check their understanding from the way they explain. Any other question or feedback? How do you find today's workshop? Maybe can I hear something about it?
I thought they were good examples of what you could do.
Yeah. And please, if there is anything that you find useful in your class, you know, do share it with us also. So we can act.
I like the music part. So
Yeah, I think music touches everyone's heart. So it's actually very good. Right down from 2 years old, you find that they enjoy it every time. And all the way to the grade 6. Yeah.
The stuff for put the name and pick up the name of the student.
Yes, yes. It's also very good because it gives them anticipation. Will I be the one called next? So they will pay attention to it.
Do you think it's okay for them that while they're doing their work, they listen to music in math class?
Very good.
No,
There
because
are
for
some
me,
children.
it works when like I'm listening to music and I'm doing my abacus. It's more my class, but I don't know if I don't do it in my class. I don't want to because
Listen and work well.
You know what? Actually,
because I don't want that.
I like
Depends on
that.
the music.
Yeah, I like that. I work well with music in the background,
Can't be Snoop
but
Dogg.
John doesn't. He needs to have quiet. So we all learn differently, but it does not mean that it cannot be used at all. In your class also the same. Some children may be distracted by the music, and then we will.
That's why I asked. Well, Sean likes to listen to music when he's working, but it's more focused.
Daniel, Snoop Dogg?
Depends on
Nursery. Nursery.
Depends on.
Maybe music without words may work better. Just instrumental music. Instrumental music. Yeah. And don't turn it on every lesson. So that the auditory one will benefit when you turn it on, but at the same time the other types of learners can also benefit when music is not on.
Some kids start to hum when doing their work.
Yes.
Some
So
kids
you know.
find it annoying.
Yeah. In fact, when you see all this observation, you just jot down beside the child's name. If you have an individual record, like an anecdotal record for each child, then you can jot down, and then from there you can, try to help them in the way that will benefit. So if you hear them humming, you know this child musically more inclined. If no more questions, then I think we will just close and we will go for lunch. It's lunch, I think. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.